Okay, I think it should work now. Hello, hello. We good?
It's live now.
All right.
Do you have
Yeah, so I'll cut off the sound for a little bit. I can put up like a starting soon screen. Let's do this.
Exactly. So like what I just showed you right now is like
it's online.
Okay.
have your statements as well. That's
Okay, sound check, sound check. We good? Let's get started. Okay, everybody. I think wait, did I not turn it on? Wait. There might be a little bit of delay. We're good? Okay. Okay, cool. Hi, everyone. My name is Eric Tang, and really glad to be here to be talking about ComfyUI and real-time video AI and all these fun stuff. And thank you all for being here. Before I get started, I just want to take a quick poll to see who's in the audience. If you are a ITP student, raise your hand. Oh, only a few. If you are going to school at NYU and any other programs, raise your hand. Okay, cool. I'm curious, what are the other interest groups in the audience? Just interested to learn, just coming in. Awesome. How did you guys find out about the workshop?
I came to the it was last Thursday, last Wednesday.
Oh yeah, there was a ComfyUI meetup. That's right. I see. People came from ComfyUI meetup.
I went to the wrong floor last Friday and I saw the poster.
Perfect. Well, thank you for being here and welcome. A little bit about a little quick intro of myself. I'm the host of the New York City ComfyUI meetup. We've been hosting this community for about 4 or 5 months, and it's been growing quite steadily. So if you haven't been to a meetup, I highly recommend checking it out. If you go on Luma, lo.ma, you can search for the New York City ComfyUI meetup community, and you can subscribe to it. And we do monthly meetups, and we have speakers coming in from the ComfyUI ecosystem to talk about all the cool projects that we're working on. I'm also the co-founder of a company called Livepeer, which we have traditionally built video streaming infrastructure for the last 9 years, powering kind of streaming applications around the world. Recently, as of a year ago, we also kicked off this AI initiative at the company, really working at the intersection of open source AI, video streaming, and especially in real-time video AI, which I think is a really exciting kind of emerging area that we're about to see a lot more of. So, and because we're big proponents of open source AI, we are pretty active in the ComfyUI community, and especially we've built this open source software called ComfyStream that allows you to kind of leverage ComfyUI to build real-time interactive experiences. Today we'll talk a little bit about that. My goal is for everyone today to create a real-time video workflow inside ComfyUI and deploy it and see that it's working. So I think that's pretty exciting. I'll show you a quick example of what it looks like, and just to kind of tease this thing. 1 sec. This is a little bit of a dance that I have to get the streaming working and this. So this is me. I'm waving my hand. All of this stuff is being processed using generative AI, and there's a diffusion process happening. I can use text prompt to change all the styles, right? A bunch of other things. So this is the workflow that we'll try to create today, all together. So let me find my cursor. Okay. What happened? Okay, I'll move this back. So go back to my presentation. Wait, what happened? Oh, I see what happened. Did I lose my... I lost my presentation. Let me open it again. 1 sec. Okay. This is a bit of a technical difficulty here. Okay, we're back. And I will get the streaming working as well. ComfyUI. Okay, so first order of action is for us to all get RunPod running. So who here already has a RunPod account? Okay, so this will be a little bit of a chore to go sign up for RunPod, and I'll send you some credits so you can start using RunPod. So let's do this. So the first thing that we'll do is to so the agenda we'll get RunPod set up. I'll show you kind of what things look like and play around with some prompts to talk about prompt engineering and how the end users can use this thing. And then we'll get into creating a workflow together. Those are the three big things. So first, let's do RunPod. So if you haven't signed up for RunPod yet, so you can go to runpod.io and just create an account. Oh yeah, for the folks who don't have Wi-Fi, here's the Wi-Fi info. Oh, can't see. I see. Is this easier to see? Still, kind of, no? Okay, is this easy to see? Is everybody on, who's not on Wi-Fi yet? Okay, seems like everybody's on Wi-Fi or on their path to Wi-Fi, which is good. Okay, so now getting back to this screen. Okay, so let's all go to RunPod and sign up for your RunPod account so that we can deploy so that we can deploy an instance and start running ComfyUI. And the reason we need a RunPod account is because we need access to a GPU when we're doing this workshop, right? So we're going to be running on a 4090 card, and RunPod has like a hosted, easily accessible version. Okay. Are we all good with RunPod? Okay. So next step is let's all join the Livepeer Discord server so I can send you guys a credit code. So in order to do that, you just go to discord.com/invite/Livepeer. And once you get there, you would pick the builder role, and you should get access to the builder's channel. And in that channel, there's a lounge. I'm going to create a thread in the lounge, and you're going to join that thread and put in a number, just like type hi. And once you do that, I'll send you a DM with a credit, like a $15 credit, so you can use RunPod. So I will start this thread right now. NYU ITP thread for RunPod credit. Workshop thread.
No.
Okay, it should look something like this. And I'm in this thread. Find this thread in the builders lounge. You need to verify first, maybe. Needs a wallet. Really? I think you should only need a. Let me come and check one second.
Oh, I just called everybody. That's fun. There we go.
Yeah, I'm just trying to send you guys the credits. If you just email me at Eric@Livepeer.com. Just Eric, ERIC at Livepeer.org. Yeah, at Live, Okay. Okay, so for those, I'll just start creating some credits here, so that you can have them. Credits. Okay.
Eric, do I need to enable direct messages on that server?
You shouldn't. You shouldn't have to. I should be able to just send you one. Oh, yeah, you might have to actually. We don't share the servers. Add friend. Oh, if you accept my friend request, you should be able to get it. Cool. Okay. Go back.
So I'm using Mango last year.
Hey, I think lots of them don't have access to the Discord.
They don't?
They don't, and they're sending your email. Sending you
Okay, yeah, if they send me emails, it should be okay.
This is like sorry, you might have to explain how to enable a friend request or DM. I did. Okay, yeah, I've got it. Sorry. Yeah, but I can show you my just to prototype that you guys spent like
Okay.
just on labs. Yeah, so like I probably like how many hours? Yeah. Yeah. Very much.
There's some
So
like
this was around this was measured in hours.
All right.
Time.
Somebody's live streaming in the Livepeer channel.
somebody in the live stream asked me which channel of live.
It's in the lounge channel. Builders Lounge channel. Okay, anyone still need, oh yeah, I'll need to get to my emails.
Yeah.
A sec.
Actually, I remember that music when you did this. But yeah, that was kind of itchy now. So now it's nice. Do you want to try that's what you want. You also oh yeah.
Okay, does anyone still need credits? Or are we all good? We all have run pods set up and we're good to go? Okay.
I think I might need a code.
Okay, one more person in the Discord. Generate this.
I haven't really checked it out.
Cool. Okay, so we got the credits going. Great. And now we're also in Discord. So so now what we want to do is we want to go launch a pod. I will show you how to launch a pod. So here, I want you to do this. because I can't see very well. Okay, so now we go to run pod here, and you click on deploy. You go to this screen. When you're on deploy, you pick the 4090, which is over here, and down here in the template, you click on change template, and you look for Livepeer -ComfyStream -no volume. So this is a Docker image that we've created that helps you install kind of every software package that you need in order to get ComfyUI going and ComfyStream going, which is very handy because oftentimes getting the software set up is like one of the biggest hurdles for using ComfyUI because there's a lot of dependencies, a lot of models that need to be installed. So we've created this really handy Docker file that helps you just set everything up. Cool. Sorry?
Can you go over it again?
Yes. So if you go to run pod, you go here. You pick RTX 4090 in deploy a pod. So here I'll do it again. Go back here. Right. So you go to pods, and you click on deploy. So it takes you to this screen. And when you're there, you click on the 4090. RTX 4090, which is a type of, yeah. Oh, I need to switch a window, okay. So many screens here. So I just do this. Right, we go to here, we go to 4090. And we go here, we go to Livepeer -ComfyStream -no volume. To find that template, you go here and you search for Livepeer. You see this, you pick this one. And then after that, you just pick deploy on demand. Really simple. And when you do that, here, I'll do that here. When you do that, it'll show this screen. It'll be deploying. So when you go to your pods, you should see this kind of, and when you open it up, you should see that it's now Docker is like downloading all these like dependencies. Yeah.
Line says insufficient tools.
Oh, that means you have to claim the code, the credit. So go to your billings, and you should. There's a way to like claim some credits based on the code that I shared. You didn't get a share. You didn't get a credit yet. Okay. I will resolve that. Hey, here. Can you email me at Livepeer, eric@livepeer.org, and then I'll send you the code.
So far,
Okay. Does everyone already have this run pod thing going?
Yep.
If so, we are going to switch over to something fun for a second. Okay, we'll do this. So now I want to talk a little bit about prompt engineering. Switching back here. This is kind of hard to play with. Okay. Okay, so before we dive into building our own workflow, I want to share kind of what an end product looks like. We recently built this like prototype called Daydream, which is a real-time video AI application that allows you to kind of use your webcam to change, use AI to change what you're seeing from your webcam. Right? So let me bring this up and share what it looks like. So I'll go to daydream.live. It'll take a little bit to get started. And once it gets started, we will see some fun stuff. Okay, now it turned me into the Hulk, right? Yeah, maybe I'll turn it this way so I can see. Okay, it turned me into the Hulk. Let me use some other prompts. For example, Van Gogh's Starry Night. Now I am Van Gogh, and it turned our world into kind of a Van Gogh world with people in a post-impressionist painting style. So I recommend going to check out this app. So there are a couple of things in prompting. So to first talk about this, just like other AI kind of systems, it's important to know what prompt to use in order to get kind of get the best results. Right. So there are some things that work really well for these types of systems, and there are other things that don't work as well. So I want to share some basic structure for prompting these types of AI. You want to have a subject, you want to have a background, and a backdrop, right? So an example would be like businessman in blue shirt, : modern backdrop, right? So if I do this, so I go to here, I say businessman in blue suit, modern backdrop. Right, it kind of turns me into this person, kind of wearing a blue suit. You can see the AI is trying to give me a tie, turn my hoodie into a suit. Right. What are some of the other prompts that work well? Things like you can do an artistic style. So we already showed an example of like Van Gogh in kind of a French in like a post-impressionist painting style. You can do things like your celebrity doppelganger. We say doppelganger because you want to have a person in mind that's kind of has your structure, the structure of your face or the structure of your body that's similar. So, for example, you can say like the portrait resembling Audrey Hepburn in a Parisian backdrop. So if I, you guys can type it in and see what it looks like on you. You can also do a distinct and well-known character. So, for example, you can try a selfie as Darth Vader in Death Star corridor with red light backdrop. Right, and by the way, the parentheses gives the prompts more emphasis. So whatever is inside the parentheses, the AI will give it more emphasis when it's doing the diffusion process. Other things you can do, thematic aesthetics. This one's pretty good. You can say like a rock star with sunglasses, concert stage with colorful backdrop, right? So it's not a well-known character, but it's kind of you can kind of describe the aesthetics of it, where a rock star would be around, what the concert stage would look like. The AI will be able to kind of recognize that and create a cohesive result. And lastly, I think this one's pretty fun, is you can transform an object. Here, I'll show you an example. One sec. I think I brought a prop, hopefully. Huh? You're not getting the credits? Okay. I will try to get to them. Maybe I'll try this thing. I'll try to make the AI transform this thing into like a spaceship. Let's see if it'll work. So I will do something like spaceship transformed into, oh no, like I'll do something like plastic disc transformed into a spaceship. And I would put this thing in front. It's more of a, so you can see if I put kind of more structure behind it, it starts to change it into like other types of objects. So I've seen people use this type of prompts to do like scene design, for example. You can put some blocks together and give these blocks much more life, right? Either in the virtual world or in a physical world. So you can, for example, use like 3D modeling software to start do like gray boxing, things like that. Let me hope the person in the live stream. One sec. Cool. Okay, so there's a little bit about prompting, and what we saw there is one of the workflows that you can create, right? So now we're going to dive in a little bit and see how do we what do we do to create that workflow, and this is where we get into ComfyUI and ComfyStream. So for those who aren't familiar, ComfyUI is a node-based software that allows you to create interesting AI-based workflows. It's very, very powerful, but you can start with some simple examples. Here, I have this example. So I am going to kind of create this example in ComfyUI and just show quickly what this looks like. Sorry, I'm blocking you, but I just need to be in the same angle as this screen, otherwise it's hard to see. So what I will do is I'll actually go to my run pod. I will log in. I will go to my pod that I just deployed. I'll go to connect, and I'll click on this. Interesting. What happened? Let's see. Look at this. Oh, it's still going. So this is taking a little longer than I expected, but it's still kind of building my. It's still building my pod. I'll come here. I'll show this example. This is something that I've already deployed. So I'll connect here, and I'll go to my run pod, ComfyUI instance.
It might take a while.
So it takes a couple seconds to load up. Let's see in here, see my log. Cool. Okay, so this is another workflow. So we'll try to create this workflow and talk about what this is doing. I'll actually stop this. I will also just reboot my pod, but then I'll start building this stuff. So what we see here is a simple workflow for just a text prompt to image generation using Stable Diffusion, right? So, if you go to a website, if you go to a website that has Stable Diffusion that allows you to like type in a prompt and generate an image, it's kind of using a workflow. You can build that experience using this workflow. But the more interesting thing here is that you can actually already dig in and really customize how that diffusion process actually happens. Instead of just using your prompt and say, okay, I'll just take whatever I get, you can start to dig in and control the types of results that you're getting. So what are the things that we can control? So let's just create this first, and then we'll talk through it as we go. The first thing I will do is to add a case sampler. So what this case sampler does is, this is where all the diffusion actually happens. It's a little hard to see. Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, so in this case sampler, we already see a bunch of parameters. We can specify the number of steps that the diffusion process uses, right? So we know the diffusion process is kind of like a denoising process. It takes multiple steps for the AI model to coalesce to an actual image. So here, usually, you want to have 20 steps to get to a good result, but you can also reduce the number of steps in order to get faster in performance. Here's a CFG, which is another pretty interesting parameter. CFG you can think of it as like how much creative control you want to give to the AI model. The higher number CFG, the more creative the AI model will get. The lower number of CFG, the more straightforward and more similar to the input the model will get. Right. So and we'll look at, we'll play around with this and look at how the result looks. So here we'll just start creating this this workflow. So we'll do a texting code. This positive means it's a positive prompt. Texting code for negative means this is a negative prompt. Then we will do a load checkpoint. Load checkpoint just means you can load a AI model. So in this case, I'm picking the Dream Shaper model. The Dream Shaper 8 is a Stable Diffusion fine-tuned model. It's one of the most popular Stable Diffusion 1.5 versions out there. So we'll use this one. We hook up the model in here. We hook up the clip here like this. We hook up the VAE. In here, we need a VAE decoder. The VAE decoder means we can translate the image from an embedding space into like a pixel space, right? Because AI models work in the embedding space, but if we want to actually visually see what happens, like what's the result, we have to kind of decode it into a pixel space. So that's what the VAE is doing.
How did you get the dream sheet?
It's you click on you load this load checkpoint.
Yeah.
And in the load checkpoint, you should be able to see some stuff. No. Undefined. Okay, that's interesting. So if you see undefined, I would go back to your run pod and see whether the model is still compiling. Okay. Yeah. So the models need to be in your environment in order for it to show up in the workflow. Yeah. Okay. So what other things do we need? We need the sampler. Samples. Yeah, and then here we need a latent image. So here we'll just do an empty latent image. And then lastly, I think that's it. Yeah, and then we hook up this K-sampler to the VAE decoder, and then we put the output image out so that we can preview the image. So this is kind of the stereotypical text-to-image workflow. Let's just do the text prompt right now. So we're doing this generation, and you see if I type in Galaxy bottle, which is kind of the default prompt, you get to generate this, right? So now let's play around with this a little bit. What happens if I change the steps to 5 instead of 20? You see here, you get like a less detailed Galaxy bottle, right? So here, if I put CFG to 3, maybe, you really start to see the difference of, okay, now it's like a little blurry. If I change this to 10, it might get a little more refined, right? So you start to see, the AI, like you're kind of almost like having a conversation with the AI to ask it to do more, do less. Of course, there are constraints, and you need to know how to talk to the AI to influence the results. But here, I hope you get like a high level sense of why people use ComfyUI, right? Which is really this lower level control that you can have, and you can hook up all these different nodes. Now, going back to our workflow, our real-time workflow, right? So how does ComfyStream actually connect to this workflow that we ComfyUI and these workflows that we built? In the real-time sense, essentially what we're doing is we're running these workflows for every single frame of video that's coming in, and we're running them really fast, right? So we're running them fast enough to be able to do like 15 to 30 frames per second. And when we're doing that, it can start to generate a video, right? So very similar to motion picture. It's actually just film, just like little pictures, and you're running them really fast. Same idea here. You are running these. You have some inputs. So it's essentially what was happening earlier in the example is the webcam on my computer is capturing the video at like 30 frames per second. We're sending those frames into the AI models, and the AI model is also processing them at a very high frame rate, ideally 30 frames per second. So the output is every single image in the output is matched with every single image on the input. And that's how we create a live interactive experience using AI, right? Yeah.
I have my run pod running. Oh, actually, it said not ready for the HTTP service, but then it just changed to ready.
Yeah, it takes a long time. It usually takes like 20 minutes, 10 to 20 minutes to get the run pod up and running. So if you go to your run pod log, you might be able to see kind of what it's doing. So if it says like some percentage progression, that usually means it's like the AI model is still like processing stuff. It's still compiling or installing things. Okay, so
I have another question, sorry.
yeah.
So I opened the endpoint and it shows me Comfy, but it says the following models were not found.
Oh yeah. So that's an error. That's like a standard error. You can just ignore that.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
it's fine if I don't have that model.
Yeah. It's fine if you don't have that model. You have other models installed already. Yeah. If anybody have any other questions, please ask. How do you download the image? Which image?
Which I've generated now.
Oh, how do you save it on your computer? You can just right click and save. That will be one. Or there's actually a save image node. So I'll go here. So instead of preview image, I can delete this. I can do save image. Save image here. And then you can specify kind of where you want. Like it'll save the image to a predefined area on your local drive. And then it'll just get saved. Yeah.
Even in RunPod.
Yeah, in RunPod, it'll save onto RunPod, right? Then you'd have to go find it in RunPod.
Yeah.
So then it's much better if you just like right click and save. It might be easier. Yeah.
Because I set up a network space volume. Yeah.
Yeah. You could do that
I
too.
guess it's going somewhere.
Then you just go to the it'll just go into you have to find it. Yeah. Yeah. It should be running. You can just start a new one. I would just refresh this. Just command R. Just refresh and see this checkpoint. You can try to do that. Or, a lot of times you might want to restart the pod. So you go back to this pod, click on this thing, you can restart the pod. And then restart the pod, go back to the connect section, and try to. Oh, you need to start this, but that's fine. That's fine if you did. That's just for like if you wanted to SSH into the pod, get to the command line on the pod. You can do that, but just go to connect and click on this. It'll bring up a new instance. You can work this. Yeah. So that's probably running a different instance. Yeah. No problem. Okay. Any other questions? Debugging. Yes.
Yeah, mine says it's not ready yet, I guess.
Yeah. So go to the logs. Let's see what's going on. So it takes a little while. And then it'll load. Yeah, it's still going. It's still going. Yeah. Sometimes it takes a while. But the good thing is I have a recorded video of this, so you can always go home and watch it.
Where can you see that video?
I'll send out an email. I'll save the link. Cool. Okay. Next, what we can do is we've generated our first image in ComfyUI. Next, I want to start introducing some concepts in creating more interesting things, right? Because what we did, it's kind of interesting, it turned the text into an image, but like, what if you really wanted to control the type of image that gets generated, or the aesthetics, or the structure of the output, right? There's a lot that we can do. And one of the principles that I think about using these types of AI tools is really how do we maintain the creative core of what we're trying to do, and being really intentional about what we're trying to create, but using AI really as a tool to help us get to our goal, instead of just giving the creative control to the AI and like take whatever it gives us, right? Because that I think is the end goal of why we're creating these types of tools. And of course, the AI is not always really good at giving us exactly what we want, so we need to learn how to work with it. But as we learn how to work with the tool, we can really start to gain control of, okay, this is how we use it in order to get to the type of results that we're looking for. We'll also start to know what to expect from the AI tools. Therefore, that can help us shape the type of projects that we want to work on, or the type of output that we want to create, right? So now, what we're looking at here is a depth map, right? So this is kind of a silly depth map, is creating a depth map using from like a 2D image, and the depth map I often think of as like one of the core things when we're using AI to generate art, and this is because the depth map actually gives the AI really good information about the structure of the output that we want to generate, right? And in fact, a lot of times you can think of the depth map as like the best hint you can give the AI to say, here's the constraint that I want you to stay within, but add your creative elements within this constraint, right? So for example, if I feed this depth map into the control net that controls the AI would generate the image based on the depth map, but also add all the information that it knows. For example, if you give it a prompt, it'll try to create its output based on the prompt. And in fact, when you saw kind of the real time version of this, when it was changing my webcam, what it was doing is taking only the depth information and putting that into the AI, and then generating the output based on my prompt. And that's important because I oftentimes think about this as the full image with all the colors and all the other details is too much information for the AI to work with. It doesn't know, it kind of gets confused. And it doesn't generate the output as close as we want to the desired output. So stripping away some of the noise and just giving it the structure is a really good way to kind of control that. So now we're gonna create a depth map generation workflow. So just going here, I'll start a new workflow, and the nice thing is that there's a bunch of open source models that are really good at predicting the depth map, right? Because the depth map it's kind of a hard thing to get. Traditionally you would have to have like a depth sensor to be in here and take a photo based on some kind of depth. Like the device needs to capture the depth information for you to be able to use it. But now what we can do is with AI, you can just give the AI model an image, and the AI model would try to predict the depth information based on a 2D image. And it's like really darn good at doing that. So what we're gonna do is to use this depth anything TensorRT model, and we'll turn this image into a depth map, right? So we'll preview this image, and I'll upload something a little more fun. I'll upload this image, and then I'll turn this into a depth map. Okay. Oftentimes this happens, and the best way to fix it is just to restart your pod.
Where is this node at?
You can double click here, and you can just do depth anything, and it'll filter down to these. I like to use the TensorRT one because the TensorRT is kind of it's like a AI acceleration model, so it just makes everything run faster, and it's another important ingredient when we want to run AI in real time. I want it to run really fast. So I'll do this. Oops. And now I'm going to. Oh yeah. I'm going to reload. I can come here and look at my logs, and I can use that as a gauge of whether my thing has been loaded. Looks like it has, so I will try to do this again. Oh yeah, that's because it's wrong. Sorry, it's because I had to pick the engine file instead of Onyx file. Now I have to restart it again. I think. I hope this will work. Go to my log and see that when I'm restarting, it should tell me that things have been restarted. Yeah. So now we see all this information. I know that ComfyUI has been restarted. I come back here and I try to reload again. Okay, and now I generate my depth map. Here is our depth map of this grandpa who's dead inside. And now we see this depth map. Let's talk about this for a second. So the depth map is a structure of pixels with every pixel has a value of between 0 and 1, right? So you can think of 1 as the closest point to the camera and 0 as the furthest point to the camera. And in this case, 1, the closer to 1 it is, the brighter the color becomes, and the closer to 0 it is, the darker the color becomes, right? So this is kind of how this depth map is represented in this photo. Now I can take this photo and actually create and actually generate a much better image using using a prompt. So I will do that. Drag it in. Actually, I'll create a new one. Drag it in here. Okay, so now we have kind of this is a complete workflow that uses the depth map and the depth control net that generates an image. Right? I won't go through all of it because we're kind of at the end of the hour here, but we'll cover more material next time. But let me actually run this.
Is that workflow in the video?
Yes, I'll share all of it. So let's just run this really quickly. Actually, this will be a bad example because we'll want to turn the grandpa into this thing. So I'll run this again. You see like the little green overlay. So we turn our grandpa into like a scruffy beard Marvel superhero. Kind of a Marvel superhero. Let's use a better prompt, like the Hulk. I like to use the Hulk as an example because the Hulk has a very distinct look and feel. Okay, our grandpa got turned into a Hulk, right? But you see that all the muscle structure and even the glass, the facial structure still follows the initial image. And this is a really important thing for us to know. So now, the last thing that I will do is to start playing around with these CFG and steps to illustrate kind of what these parameters can do, right? So instead of 1, I'm going to increase it to 3. And you start to notice how that changes the image output. Now, because we gave the AI a little more time to process, it's able to create much finer details in the photo. It's able even to create these light sources that's coming through, right? So it's quite interesting. So now, the other thing that I'll do is I'll start to increase the CFG a little bit. So let's say I change it to 1.3. Let's see what happens. Now it's taking a little while to recompile. This is actually recompiling the model in real time. But once it's done, you see the AI kind of took a little more creativity. It added more color to the image, created the shirt collar, right? It's even able to kind of distinguish the cup from the hand and from the body, and it knows, oh, the cup is actually white and the rest of the Hulk is green. Yeah. If you don't have the depth anything node, that means so if you install the template that's in the Livepeer template, it would have the depth anything node in there. Or if you want to manually install it, that you can also do that through the ComfyUI manager. So there are a couple ways to do it.
Where's the management?
Here, let me see. Is this your instance? Or is this yeah, so you need to change the honest to Cool. Okay, so I think we'll wrap here today. We will return to the real-time version next time. Cool. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.